yes, for the benefit of those who are not here now. So if you have anybody that you think they are in the UK university, please share the link with them so that we can have this discussion together. I know writing assessment, either essay or report, is one of the biggest issue for us, especially for those who are coming from abroad here in the UK. Because here in the UK, we depend solemnly on assignment or report or course, we call it coursework generally, rather than exams. And I know that where we are coming from, we depend solemnly on examination. And to write exam is so easy for us. It's just for us to put everything on our head and just to go to the exam hall and put it down. But here in the UK, you have to do what is called critical writing, where you need to make use of reference, you need to cite. And that was why we decided that the EndNote section should come forth yesterday, so that it will give you an idea of what you'll be doing today as well. So this afternoon, I will be sharing my screen shortly, but I want you to open your mind. I used to advise students that writing exams or writing coursework you might look at it that it's so difficult, but it is not difficult at all. It just depends on you, and it's depend on your interests as well. You know, many students in the last few years, I've met a lot of students that they made up their mind that they are not going to write their coursework. They want to give it out. Though, yes, we are going to get the yesterday recording. We are going to upload everything on our YouTube channel, so you can have access to it. No problem about that. So they believe that they can just give out their assignment or their report or their essay out. But if you are here and you are doing that, I want to discourage you. It is not good. This is a very bad habit. You paid a lot of pounds to come to this country, and at the end of the day, you will not be able to do what you were asked to do. Rather, you decided to give it out. You are not helping yourself. And sincerely, you are not helping your future. I'm sorry to say that. No matter what, even though if at the end of the day you score 40, you score 50, you know you are the one that actually carried out this task. You are not giving it out. And if you are decided that, oh, I'm going to give this assignment out, and at the end of the day, you score hey, let's say you score 70, because you can deceive us as a lecturer, we might not be able to find out that you are not the one that did it. So you can actually deceive us, but you yourself, you know that you are just deceiving yourself. So that is my opening speech this evening, that please, no matter what, even though if you are going to score 40, 50, 60, please make sure the system pass through you. Don't just come to the UK and decided that out of your 8 coursework or your 10th coursework or your 5 coursework, you are not doing anything, you want to give it out. Even dissertation is the same thing. Students are doing that. I've caught a lot of my dissertation students giving out their dissertation projects to people in Nigeria, to people in other countries. This is a very bad habit, and it's not good. And you cannot see a white person doing that. A white student will never do that. And that is why I've taken notes. Most of my lecture, where I have mixed students, either black or white, you will see the white student writing. Anything you are saying, they must write. And you wonder, what are they writing? And they were just writing everything you were saying. Why our own sisters and brothers who are black like us, you will see them in the class, they will never write anything. They will never. Very few of them will write something. And most of these things you are writing as well, they also have impact in what we are going to be discussing tonight. Because if I'm teaching, for example, sometimes I will be referring to the coursework, giving students idea of what I'm actually expecting from the coursework. And in doing that, I am expecting you to actually, when you are writing your coursework, to be referring to some of those points. No, but we don't do that. Please, if you want to be successful as far as the United Kingdom is concerned, especially when it comes to academic, please, you need to be involved. It's very important. You need to do your own best and just leave the rest. As like we used to say then, that leave the rest for God. So please, if you are here, you are part of those people that, decided that, oh, my assignment or my report or my essay, I'm not going to write it, I'm going to give it out. I want to discourage you tonight. You can do it. And I will tell you my story. I did my master about 12 years ago in a university called Erotwat in Scotland. And I've shared this with some students before. When I came in, we were about 150 in the class, and two of us are just black, myself and a lady from Ghana at that time. We don't know what they are doing. We don't even have understanding. So we used to sit at the back of the class. The only thing that we would just make an inquiry is that, are we writing the exam for this course? Once we note that we are going to write exam, we prepare for the exam. But nevertheless, we also ask, are we having a coursework? Yes, you're having a coursework. So what we do, we go to library. When we are not having any module, any class, we go to library to prepare for those coursework. We have samples. We don't have this opportunity that you guys are having, for us to organize something like this. We don't have that time. We don't have it that time. So we have to do it ourselves. And we'll write, it might take us 10 days, 5 days to write introduction, but we'll make sure we write it and we'll submit. I won't lie to you. I came out with distinction in my master, and I was happy because I know myself I did it. But if at the end of the day, today you have distinction and you know that you are not the one that you didn't write anything in your coursework, will you be happy about it? You won't be happy. And this as well has really impacted us because we were able to gain that ideas from our masters, and we did PhD. And it's not easy to be a PhD holder. I'm not trying to boast, please. I'm just telling you it requires a lot of work. And for those of you who want to do a PhD, the time is now. You start from your master. You don't have to wait till your PhD stage before you start doing it, because it's what you are doing now is what you are going to continue when you are also doing your PhD. I think it is very important for me to take some time out to address this issue, because I know a lot of us are doing it, and which is not good. We are not happy, as especially for those of us who are coming from Africa. Sincerely, some of the lecturers are not happy. So we believe that you guys are just here just because of the paper, not because of you want to actually get that certificate. So you need to work for that certificate. And that is why we have decided in our whole little way to help to put these seminars together, which we started yesterday, to see how we can be of help in our own little way, and to encourage you that please, it will be bad if at the end of the day, if I spend all these hours with you, which is not easy, it's not convenient for me at all. I have a lot of places I need to be at the moment, but I have to leave that and be here to do this. And at the end of the day, you will now decide to give your assignment out to someone else to write. It's not good, and we're not happy about that. So thank you so much. Just to start, my name is Olushola. So I am a lecturer, and just to give a disclaimer as well, this seminar is just to help. I'm not representing any university. So I'm not here in the capacity of a lecturer of any university, please, so that you won't quote me that, oh, this is what this doctor said. No, I'm not in the capacity. I'm just doing this free of charge, just to help our community and to help our brothers and sisters from Africa as well. So I'm not here to represent, I want to re-emphasize that, to represent any university. So I'm not standing here as a lecturer of any university. I'm just here to do my own humanity service, just to help you. as we know. So thank you so much. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you just to start with. So can you all see my screen? If you can see, just let me see a reaction, please, so that I'm sure you are here.
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, thank you. So we are looking at academic workshop and how to write your coursework effectively. Yeah, that is my name, Olushola Kolawole. We are going to be looking at some important discussion tonight. And please, like I said yesterday, if you have a sample of your coursework here, you can share it and we look at it and we give you some ideas as well. So I would just want to rush through this. Then I will give you time to ask me questions, share your coursework with me. Then we can give you an idea of how you can go about it. I might not be able to meet with some of you individually to discuss your coursework because I've got a lot of other workload. So, but nevertheless, if you need any help, I'm going to drop my email at the end of this seminar. Then you can email me, then I can respond back to you. So at the end of this seminar, we'll be looking at assignment criteria, assignment presentation, and structure, and we'll be looking at the critical writing of an assignment. That is the focus for this workshop. So we want to look at assignment criteria, presentation and structure, and how you can write critically. So let me start with assignment criteria. Every assignment they have their own criteria. Every lecturer that gives you an assignment will definitely develop what you call assignment guidelines or assignment criteria. So this is a criteria for every assignment, and you need to study this, very important. You don't have to go outside this. This is what we expect you to do, and this is what we want you to follow. And that is what we call it guidelines or criteria. It is very important. And a lot of students, they made mistake by not looking. Sometimes they made mistake without looking at this criteria at all. They will just start writing without actually looking at what is the lecturer, what does he or she wanted. It is very important that you understand that. You need to understand what the lecturer is looking for and the kind of structure the lecturer is asking you to focus on. And assignment criteria will tell you all that. And I'm going to share with you a sample of that, of what I'm talking about. Now, this is a typical sample of an assignment criteria, which I believe that many of you will have it in your coursework. If you don't have something like this, it is not out of place for you to ask your module leader or the lecturer that, please, can I see the assignment criteria so that I'll be able to know how to write my assignment or my report or my essay. So if you look at this criteria, this is what we want you to look at. You have the outstanding excellent / excellent, very good, satisfactory, basic, significant, fail. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself.
Ayola, please help us to mute, please. Oh, Dr. Kolawole, can you mute him centrally?
So you will see that you have this critical analysis and application. I'm going to discuss about that. What we want you to do there, if you want to really score 70 and above, 17 and above is outstanding and excellent. So this is what we want you to look at: excellent demonstration of critical analysis and coverage of the relevant issues. Very good is anything from 69 and 60. Satisfactory is just 50, which is from 59 to 50. Then basic is 40, which is 49 to 40. Then significant fail, that we build from, let's say, from 39 to 30. Substantial fail, that will be from 30 and below. So the first thing I usually advise students is, look at these criteria. So which one are you aiming at? You aiming at excellent or outstanding, or just very good, or satisfactory, or just basic? You know, some people will say, oh, I just want to pass this course. I don't want to come back next year again. They're not coming back next year anyway, because we are going to organize a makeup class for you during the summer. So nobody is coming back next year. So you need to, first of all, determine which one am I looking at. Is it excellent, very good, satisfactory, or basic? Then once you pick the one you are looking at, you look at what you are expected to do. So under the critical analysis application, we're going to discuss that. Evaluation, conclusion, we're going to discuss that. Then you also look at, this should be the first one. The first one is presentation, structure, written communication, and referencing. You look at what you are expected to do. In the outstanding side or excellent side, you see excellent polished and coherent structure, excellent fluency and academic writing, thought and ideas clearly expressed. So you will see there. Knowledge and understanding, you will see what you were asked to do. And critical analysis and application, they are all there. Evaluation and conclusion, they are all there. So what I usually advise students is, pick which one are you targeting. Are you looking at the outstanding side, or very good, or satisfactory, or basic? Then you can now develop a plan to tackle the one you have decided to pick. So this is called rubric. Rubric is our whole rating. How? We cannot go outside this. If I attach this particular rubric to a module, I cannot go outside this. My marking will be based on these items here. Very important. Take note of that. Having said that, let's move to types of assignments. Types of assignment. Now, we have different types of assignment. We have what is called the essay. We have the report. We have presentation, both individual and group. We have reflective tasks. We have case studies. We have group work as well. So we have group work. We have essay, like I've mentioned. We have report. We have presentation. We have reflective tasks. We have case studies. We have group work. So all these are type of assignments that is available for student, but based on the module or based on the course, whichever one. So, but the one that is very popular rather, is essay and report, and sometimes presentation, and sometimes group work as well. Reflective tasks are for some specific courses. Case studies, the same thing. But I am sure that many of us that are connected tonight are aware that essay and report are very popular. So tonight we want to look at how do we write an essay, or how do we write a report. So please, just follow me as we discuss this tonight. So let's start by looking at what an essay is. What is an essay? We said an essay presents a discussion or argument about a topic using evidence to present the author's perspective on the topic. So it's critical writing is all about presenting an argument. You are given a particular topic and they ask you, write a report on this topic or write an essay on this topic. We are looking at your perspective, yes, which is very good, but we are not relying only on your perspective. You need to look at what other people have done in the aspect of the topic that has been given to you and putting them together to form an essay. I know that this might be very difficult, especially because we are not used to this kind of writing where we are coming from. Like I said before, the only thing that we are used to is examination. And we have said it that even examination is not a text, it's not a true test of knowledge. So sometimes our critical writing is very important, that we want to see how you are able to contribute to a discussion, contribute to a certain topic, especially on how it affects our field of study. So HESE give you that opportunity. And that is why they can ask you, write a 1,000 words on a particular topic. I'm going to be showing you an example of that shortly. Write 2,000 words on a particular topic or 3,000 words on a particular topic. We know you can do it. That is why we ask you to do it. I know that many of us, we may not know how to, we may not enjoy writing. I don't enjoy writing, sincerely. But because of the kind of work I find myself doing, I have no option. I can sit down. I was telling somebody that all this essay that you are talking about, within, if I'm giving like a deadline to write 4,000 words, for example, I should be able to do it within a day. I can write 4,000 words within a day. If you give me that 24 hours, just put me somewhere to sit down and write. Within a day, I should be able to write it without any issue. But don't forget that I didn't start today. I have been doing it over the years. So it has been part of me. So I'm not expecting you to just, I give you a topic and I expect you to produce it immediately. No, because we are just coming up. But I'm used to that, so I can, any words you want me to write, I should be able to do it without any issue. Because I've built myself to that stage. And that is why we decided to organize it, so that we ourselves can build ourselves, because you don't know where you're going to find yourself. And we're preparing you for the future. Every university prepare their students for the future, because you might find yourself in a place where your boss, for example, will ask you to write a report. I will talk about that when we are writing report. So HESE will give you option on how you would do a particular thing. I never knew that I'm even muted. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So now, so let me continue. So Hesse will give you that opportunity to present your discussion, your argument, and so on and so forth. So take note of that. That is the work of an essay. Now, having said that, let's look at the structure. Because I'm sure that many of us will be asking, I don't know, the feedback I got, I am not happy about it, blah, 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 blah. So what should be the typical structure for an essay? So look at it. When you want to write essay, you need an introduction. Very, very important. Very, very important. So you should have an introductory section. Then you have the body. Then you have the conclusion. And you have the list of reference. Except otherwise stated in the assignment criteria or the essay criteria, that you don't need an introduction, but I'm sure no lecturer will tell you that you don't need an introductory section. I particularly enjoy when I see my students writing something on the introduction, and you don't write anything, anyhow thing in the introductory section as well. So you should have an introductory section, very important, except otherwise stated in the assignment criteria. If not, the first step is to have the introduction. Now, we'll be looking at what you need to include in the introduction shortly. So then you have the body. The body now focus on what you were asked to do. I'm going to share a sample with you shortly as well. So it's not depend on what you were asked to do. For example, if you were asked to write about Bradford, critically review workplace in Bradford, for example. So the body will now focus, your assignment body will focus on that. So you now need to now answer the question. That is what you do when you are looking at the body. You now need to answer the question that you've been asked to focus on in the assignment criteria. So you need to take note of that. Now, also, you need to have a very good structure. You need to put a very good structure in place. Very, very important. I have seen a lot of students, they don't even have paragraph. Some of them short paragraph. Some of them no introduction, no conclusion. They will just write paragraph from beginning to the end. This is a very bad structure. Please, you need to have subsection. Your first section should be introduction. The second subsection, the body, which has to do with what you were actually asked, what the assignment guidelines or the criteria is all about. Then you have the concluding section, which is the conclusion. The conclusion is about summarizing and coming back to reflect on what you've been asked to do. Then you have the list of referencing. So quickly, let's look at them. Let's look at the essay introduction. The introduction usually starts with the broad view of the topic. So for example, if you were asked to discuss critically review Bradford, the workplace in Bradford, so you start with the broad overview. It's not out of place for you to define in this introduction, oh, you define what is Bradford or what is workplace. You give a kind of broad overview. Then you should be able to tell us, what are you doing in this essay? What is the focus? Many students will not even tell us the focus. You assume that at least you are the lecturer, you gave me this topic. You should know what I want to do. You don't just allow us to assume, for example. So when you are writing, for example, you were asked to write on critically review workplace in Bradford. So at the end of giving, once you give the overview, you should be able to tell us that, oh, the focus of this essay, your last paragraph of the introduction should be that the focus of this essay is to critically review the workplace in Bradford. And to do this, I will be attempting to answer that question through the following subsection. It is not out of place for you to mention the subsection, for example. The next session, we discuss what is Bradford. The second section, we discuss the workplace. The third section, we discuss this and that in your introduction. So that will tell me, reading your work sincerely will tell me, I know what you are doing. But if you don't put that organization in your write-up or in your essay, for example, I will look at you that, oh, it seems you don't know what you are doing. So your introduction should focus on, give overview. But sometimes, even though if you don't give overview, that's fine. But you should be able to tell me what the focus of your essay is all about in your introductory section. Very, very important. So it is provide overview of how you will answer the question, often by telling the reader what your perspective is on the topic, and then outline what the structure of the essay will be. If there is anything you need to go home with tonight, you should go home with this. Very, very important. Tell us the focus of your essay and outline what the structure will look like. Then, once I am marking that and I can see what you have done in the introduction, I will be very pleased with you, sincerely. Sometimes you don't even need to cite anything in the introduction. That is for the introductory section. Then you move to the body. So this body is comprised of many subheadings, each discussing one main ideas that relate to the overall assignment question. In the body, you usually need to discuss various viewpoints, which means integrating many different ideas from different sources. And this is where the main work is. If we are given the same topic, for example, if I am asked, or if we were asked to write on the workplace in Bradford, and Moshood is here, Moshood is also asked to write on the same topic, we might have the same thing at the introductory section, but definitely we must not have the same thing at the body, because we are writing from different perspectives, and that is what we are looking at. So in your essay body, you now determine the subheading. Subheadings will be there. So for example, critically review workplace in Bradford. I might want to also look at the general perspective on Bradford, for example. And when I'm writing that, I am not writing from my own perspective. I will go back. That was what we did yesterday. I will go back to the literature. Let me see what people have done concerning Bradford. I will now put them together. For example, you might start with divination. You might start that, oh, there are different definitions to the word Bradford, for example. And for example, Olushola 203, 2003, Divine Bradford as a place to live. I'm telling you how to critically write that aspect now. Then you might say, oh, nevertheless, there is a definition that is quite different from that of Olushola perspective, which was given by Moshood 2013. So Moshood Divine Bradford as a place where to live and to eat. You will see the difference between the two definitions. Olushola 203 just said that Bradford is a place to live. Moshood 2013 said that Bradford is a place to live and to eat. So you put the two perspectives together. Then, at the end of the day, you will now wrap up your own. What do you think? What is your own perspective? Or what is their whole perspective? You might say, oh, based on this perspective, these two authors, we can agree that Bradford is a place to live and to eat, possibly, and to work. You know, those 2-3 things I've mentioned author number 1, which is Olushola 2003. I've mentioned author 2, which is Moshood 2013. I have added my own perspective, which is Bradford is a place to live, to work, and to eat, for example. So that is the kind of things we are looking at. We want to look at how you were able to put all the authors together and you reference them. Now, once you finish with that, you can move to the next one, the workplace. You can also look at some of those things that has been done in the aspect of workplace. You can define workplace, for example. Okay, what do we do in workplace, for example? We carry out different tasks. You are not saying it from your own perspective. You'll be using literature. In workplace, this author A said, in workplace, we work, we earn our living there, we carry out different tasks. However, another author said, in workplace, it's a place where people come from morning and they live in the night or in the evening. Oh, another person said, no, in workplace, we can as well work in the night. Not only you resume in the morning and live in the evening, we can as well work, do, for example, night shift. So you are looking at different perspectives. You are critically reviewing them. The critical aspect is that you are not just depending on your own voice alone, on your own perspective. You are using literature to back up your point. And as you are backing up your point, you are as well coming to reflect on what has been said. Then, so you have different sections. So once that is done, you have the conclusion. So the conclusion will now be this, oh, we have done, you refer back to your introduction. So in this essay, we have been able to look at Bradford, the workplace in Bradford. And we have provided, or you have provided answer. But don't forget that sometimes you write in top place. You don't write in first place. You don't use first place English, for example. You don't use I. You don't use we. So you make sure you write in third place. So this essay has critically reviewed workplace in Bradford, and this is what has been done. You conclude. Then your 1,000 words, 2,000 words, 3,000 words is completed. Simple as ABC, ready to be submitted. So this is how you write an essay. So in your conclusion never introduce new information. Don't forget, you will refer back to what you have done, to the ideas you have generated. So you should have covered those aspects in the body. So you are not introducing any new thing. You can make recommendation if you were asked to make recommendation, for example, in your conclusion. But you are not introducing any new information. And it's not necessarily that you should have a reference in your conclusion. I've said it. It's not necessary, but if you know that you are using some words that are quite different from yours, then you might reference them. So that is about how to write an essay. Don't forget, You have the introduction. In your introductory section, you introduce the topic. You tell us what you are going to be doing. Even though if you are writing dissertation, for example, for those who are writing proposal, that is the same thing. You do it. You have introduction. Tell us the focus of your essay, your proposal, or what you are doing. Then you move to the body by having different subsections. Then once you have the different subsection, then you can now write your conclusion. Now I've got a sample here. Look at this sample. This is individual coursework of 2,500 words, excluding title, page, content page, table. Please mute yourself, mute yourself, mute yourself. Page, figures, appendix, and bibliography, what 100% of the module mark. When you are writing an essay, your page content, your page, your tables, your figures are not included in the word count. Take note of that. Your reference are not included. So they are not parts. So this is a typical assignment where you were asked to write 2,500 words. So in the 2,500 words, you will now decide, how am I going to share it together? I've seen a situation whereby a student will be telling you, asking you, oh, these 2,000 words, how many words should I put for the introduction? The conclusion, is it 100? It's none of my business. You've been given 2,500 words. You look at it. How do you want to divide it? So here is the task. Choose one of the logistics and or supply chain management function from the following list and critically discuss how this function transformed by technologies, robotics, Internet of Things, data analytics, artificial intelligence, 3D, using actual examples. So we have this 4 functions: inventory, planning and control, demand planning, forecasting, transportation, warehouse management, and so on and so forth. So this is what you will have to do. So in your introduction, the first thing to do is, if you want to define supply chain, fine, define supply chain. For example, tell us about logistics if possible. But you need to now tell us, because the introduction said choose one, not 2. So in your introduction, you should be able to tell me which one you are going to be picking, or which one you've picked already. If it is inventory, tell me that the focus of this assignment is to critically discuss how inventory planning and control has transformed supply chain activities. So which means I will know from your introduction that you are focusing on inventory planning or demand planning or transportation. So don't assume that since I did not tell him, I will just go straight to transportation, for example. I don't need to tell my marker that I have picked in transportation. No, you need to state it clearly at the introductory. Are going to be picking transportation, for example. No, that you are picking warehouse management, for example, at your introductory stage. So you don't assume. So please, if you have any assignment you are writing now, go back to that your introduction and look at how you have explained the focus of your assignment. Outline it. So that is how to answer this. So for example, if I am picking transportation, once I explain, if I want to explain, I can say, oh, the focus of this assignment is to use transportation as a supply chain functions and to discuss how it has been transformed by robotics, for example. So if you know that an assignment, you don't understand it, ask questions from your module leader or the module tutor or the lecturer. Very important. Because we have seen that a lot of students, they just go outside what they were asked to do by focusing on other things. So you need to first of all understand this then before making an attempt. So in this essay, I will just look at transportation. Then in the body of my essay, I will first of all define what is transportation, if possible. Then what are the functions of transportation? Then looking at functions of transportation, and don't forget, we want you to use actual example. You should be able to tell me, use a particular case study, an organization that has been using transportation effectively to do their logistics. How are they doing it? And you back those things with points. Then you will now use robotics, for example. You can use robotics as how it has been transformed by sorry. So you can use robotics, for example, to discuss how it has transformed transportation. But you are not writing it from your own perspective alone. So you need to look at the literature, see what has been done. A lot of things has been done in that aspect. So that is about essay, and that is a good sample. Now we also have another one which I mentioned, is that we have reports. Don't forget, reports, if they might give you a scenario, for example, that in a particular organization, this is what is going on. I could remember some artificial intelligence students were asked, to pick a case study, write a report on the impact of big data, for example, on the organization activities. So what are the impacts of big data? You need to write a report on that. Or tell us how you think that big data, for example, can actually improve the organization activities. That is a report. That is not an essay. So a report provides clearly organized information about the situation or a problem under investigation. I've given you an example of that. So the information may come from your experience. They might ask you that, you are a manager or you are a supply chain person in this organization. Based on your experience, can you please inform the manager, inform the organization how you are going to solve S, Y, and Z issue? So it's all about your experience, your reading, your research, your experiments, measurement conducted in laboratory or in the field. So what we want you to do is to present information, how this particular problem, how it can be solved. And if it is not a problem, how do you think you can use these particular tools to address or to improve the organization? So you also follow the same pattern like we did in the essay. You have in the introduction. In the introduction, you just informed your reader or your marker or your module leader or whosoever, or the organization management, that this is the focus of this report. Then you move to the body. For example, if you are trying to solve a problem, you first of all highlight some of those issues within that project. Critically is that you are writing it, you are using the literature. You are looking at what has been said in the literature, you are bringing it together, you are adding your own perspective, you are telling them the story. Then you have some headings as well. You have the body, you have some headings. The only difference between report and essay is that in report, you make recommendation. We make recommendation. So at the end of the day, you should be able to also, oh, based on what I've said, I am recommending X, Y, and Z to the organization. So you make recommendation to them. Then you have the conclusion. Then your list of reference will also be there. So this is what we do, and that is why I'll be focusing only on these two aspects, the essay and the report, because in business management or in business school or management, we deal with report and we deal with essay. Group presentation, yeah, sometimes might ask you to just do a presentation, but myself, I don't like giving student presentation, because if you put 5 students together, you will see that it's only 2 or 3 that will work. 2 of them are not even do anything, and they will still earn the same mark. So why are you giving them group presentation when not all of them will work? So that is why majority of our lecturer will depend on report or essay. So you need to master how to, you follow the same pattern when you are writing report as well. Critically, the same way you did for essay, you are going to do it this, but you only tell different stories. And in report, you make recommendation. Tell them this is what you were asked to do. Now, if you look at this is an example of a report. And this is individual coursework of 1,500 words, excluding this again. Choose any company of your choice that has adopted a triple bottom line model. You are required to critically discuss the following: highlight the company's basic corporate social responsibility, discuss the benefits of implementing the CRS and the challenges faced by the organization during the implementation. Discuss potential solutions to some of the identified challenges by the organization identified above to fully implement TBL. Present your argument in a clear structure. So, study what you were asked to do. In this, the first thing is to pick an organization. When I was, this is a good example, when I was marking this, I noticed that a lot of students did not even choose any organization. When it was written clearly, choose any company. That is the first thing. So pick any company, for example, Morrison, Asda, or any other one. That is the first thing. So you need to tell us that in your introduction. So I am picking Asda, for example. So in this assignment, I'll be focusing on Asda or Morrison. Then tell us, why are you focusing on them? You want to see how they have used basic corporate social responsibility. Then I also want to discuss the benefits of implementing it. I want to discuss the challenges as well. So even this one, if you look at that here has given you the structure of the report, sincerely. So which means in the body, what I want you to do is, first of all, tell me about corporate social responsibility of that company. You move to number 2, you look at the benefit of implementing the CRS. Then number 3, you look at the challenges faced during the during the implementation. Simple as ABC. Then you provide recommendation. Then you provide conclusion. That is it. Because this is just 1,500 words. You don't have to bring any, you don't have to create your own subsection. It has been written there clearly without any issue. So some assignments are also like that, or some report or some essay are also like that. The lecturer will have given you what should be the structure, but you might not know. You need to discover that. So it is very important that we understand this. And if it is 4,000 words as well, you look at it. And this is what I usually advise students. Once you have your, what is it called? Once you are given the topic, don't wait till a week or 2 weeks before you start submitting or before you start writing. You need to start immediately. Very important. You don't have to wait. The day you can write 100 words, go and keep it somewhere. The following day, write another 150 words, write it somewhere. Before you know it, if you can do that within a month, I am really surprised that students will still be asking for an extension for an assignment that has been given to them 3 months ago, or some 4 months ago. During the deadline, they will be asking for extension. For what? So please, we need to plan ourselves. Very important. It is easy, very easy for you to pass, for you to get distinction here in the UK, but you need to plan yourself. So you should be ready to read widely without any issue. You should be ready to read widely without any issue and to prepare for yourself. So I think that is where I'm going to stop, and I'll be taking questions and answer. Structure and presentation of reports. Report may have different structure depending on the discipline and the context, but a fairly typical example is presented below, which I don't have it here. So I've told you before that you can as well follow this same pattern: introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So I'm going to be stopping there, and I want to take questions. Thank you. Any question? Any question?
Thank you very much, Dr. Olushola. My name is Emeka. I just want to quickly ask you a question. Okay, so you have a topic in mind that you want to write about, okay? How do you relate the literature reviews to particular topic? For instance, you're writing on a topic that has to do with fraud, okay? Will you be citing articles that speak on fraud